Boom. We are pre-recorded today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, Stellar, and BAT. Yeah, just those three for today, my general market sentiments, and we're going to try to do this as frequently as possible and just mix it up with random videos because, hey, I love doing stuff on YouTube, but I got to switch it up all the time. Otherwise, I get bored, and that's no fun for anyone. Okay. So currently, we're going to start off here with Bitcoin. I've got it open on the 4-hour, and I'm actually going to take a look here. As you can see, I'm actually going to remove my bear claw here. Great indicator, but let's clean up that chart. Boom. So we've been watching, first off, this rising Fibonacci channel since around $3,000. We broke up, touched into the 786, couldn't get back above, and then started to decline, and we're now at the bottom of that channel. So we've actually been building support here, and we've been seeing higher lows and a higher high, at least on this intermediary channel, and we're about to go through one of the downward support resistance lines right now. So if I go in a little closer, you can see that both this upward rising channel and the downward trend we are just breaking into now. So it's very likely that Bitcoin could make a nice little jump up here around 9,500, maybe even further. Again, we have reason to believe, based off some of our previous assertions, that Bitcoin might test around 11,500 again before coming back down. Now, for those of you that have been following us for quite some time, you know this was the Wyckoff chart that we've been watching, and we're getting right near the end of the phase chart here. Now, this to me signals something important, right? So here, this is where we knew that the phase could change. The phase could actually very easily come back above and into the top of the box range here, which is around $9,000 to $10,000. And it might continue further just because of the momentum in the sector is crazy. So even though we went short around June 10th here, I re-entered my longs around 90.90 last week. Again, for those of you that are in a private community or a private newsletter, you know that already. So I'm currently sitting in a long position for Bitcoin, waiting to see what it does. Again, we are in a pretty precarious moment here, and there's reasons to believe that we would come down lower. But either way, I'm always bullish on Bitcoin because I'm here for the long term. I'm only temporarily bearish on these assets, Bitcoin specifically, because I like trading, I like learning, and I like being able to use these indicators to really find out where I am in the minutia and just give myself as much entertainment as possible, right? One of the great things about this type of investment is understanding that we're kind of past the monkeys throwing dart stages. So I heard a really great quote. This is, if anyone invests before me, it's just monkeys throwing darts, but anyone who invests after me are spreadsheet junkies. So what's important to remember here is that there are a lot of big players that are starting to enter this space, have been entering this space, and are really good at recognizing these same types of setups and accumulation or distribution patterns that we've seen before. So currently we're sitting right at the mid-range of Bitcoin. If we do not close above 9,500 on the daily, let's see. And I guess on the daily, we're looking a little bit higher, maybe around as high as 9,800. We are going to come lower, and I suspect it could be much lower. But in the intermediary time, let's not look at that. We're right in the middle of phase E, and it could very easily go either way. What we do see, though, is we have not been able to get back above the 50-day moving average, but we're still currently above the 21 and the 9. So again, we're squeezed right between this kind of decision area. On the day, we are currently headed down on the stochastic RSI, down at the bottom here. And on the 4-hour, we are actually just about to break into the oversold area of the RSI, although Bitcoin often gives us these quite sporadic moves. And with these lower highs and higher highs that we've been making in this new channel here, the one we had previously drawn out, we suspect that we're going to see a little bit more, at least temporary bullish momentum. From there, what I want to do is take a look at let's take a look at Fetch. So Fetch is a token that we entered back in June 10th. So let's take a look. No, that's Stellar. There, boom. This is Stellar. We want to look at Fetch, excuse me. So this is my trading view account. Okay, and we've been using these, here's the accumulation patterns we want to draw. These accumulation patterns are really beautiful. So I want to point out to everyone what I love about these. First off, this is a new pattern that we've been using for the last 2 months now, and we've gotten consecutively better at using it each time. So back here on June 9th, we made an entry into Fetch on the breakout of the Wyckoff model, right here. So this was our original entry, and we actually looked for just an initial 30% profit. So as you saw, boom, and it actually went much higher. So here's where I want to show where I made the mistake on XLM by using, the mistake I made with Fetch by using XLM. So here's XLM. Here's that first 30% target that we had written up on Fetch, but here's that second and the third target now. So now that I've realized the accumulation patterns actually can significantly exceed my first 30 to 40% targets, I actually have these as wave 1 targets essentially. So we'll go over and explain that more in the private 10. If you want to join our private group to get these calls ahead of time, because this was July 6th. On July 6th, our call went out, we entered, and we made our first trade. Boom, just like that, 40%. As you can see on the replay, it's one of the things I love about TradingView is it records everything. So if I make, when we make good trades, you saw it. If we don't, you see my stop loss and the loss that I would have taken. Again, anyways, did not take a loss on XLM or Fetch, and there are more tokens like that to come. So what I want to do now is point out the fact that, okay, well, let's go out to the daily on Fetch. Okay, well, here's that beautiful accumulation A, B, C, D, phase E, and then the breakout and maybe a much higher potential move. I'm not closing all of my Fetch just yet. I'm going to watch to see if it breaks out past 545 Satoshis. If it does, Fetch could run for a long time. Now, what gets really fun here is let's use XLM as our next example. So here we took our long on XLM for 2 reasons. I'll show you. Hopefully you guys are all keeping up with this. Hopefully this all makes sense. I hope you guys are all well enough aware of what all these things I'm saying are. So down at the bottom here we have both a blue and a green 200 and 314-day moving average. As we stayed above that and grew above the VPR or the volume VPVR, the volume profile line, I took my entries at around 740 to 750, and I even had some set down here lower just in case we did test the bottom of this box range and that I was incorrect. I wanted to make sure I had more trades potentially on the table. We thought this first 30% profit target take off. Now, here's the exciting part. This is what I'm really, really excited about. We have been witnessing the birth of a new ecosystem of digital technology for quite some time. And now that the pandemic is kind of hitting all aspects of every market, people are going online left, right, and center. It's becoming the new normal is to work online. So here's one of the parts that I'm most excited about. I'm excited about the relationships that we saw back in 2017 happening all over again, and these are the early days. So one of the fun things about being a dart throwing monkey in 2017 is we did things like bought Ant shares before it was called Neo, right? Or bought Cardano before it had a massive spike. But over the last year or two, all of these tokens have taken a big hit for the most part in relationship to their previous values to Bitcoin, right? So here you can see Stellar from it. If you bought in here, you're down like an enormous amount, right? So this is why I always recommend selling, taking certain amounts of profits. You'd be down 89%, right? But here, this beautiful accumulation pattern makes me kind of like a spreadsheet jockey, because now I know that there are big players in this industry who are accumulating XLM or Stellar, and this is that accumulation phase. So now instead of having to do the fundamental research myself, I only have to do technical analysis because all the whales have done the research for me. There are a bunch more tokens like this, and they're going to make big moves. I do suspect what we are about to witness for the next 5 years here is an extended bull run cycle in all of these markets. A lot of tokens are going to get trashed out, but a lot will do well because this space is exploding. Link is also one of them. So I believe we saw a wave 1, a wave 2. I believe we're about to see a wave 3, probably a long extended wave 4, and then a wave 5, right? Up to around 160% profit. And again, the next part of this crazy assertion becomes, does this become a big wave 1 as we had seen in the past with other things like Cardano, Raven, where you saw 600,000% moves over the course of a year or two? And yes, I believe that is still possible. These markets are extremely illiquid and are very, very, very niche still. A lot of people are just figuring out the long-term applications. So here with XLM, we are still in our position and we are looking for another big gain. Same with Fetch. And there are a few more that we are all drawing up that I will share in our private bear den. So remember, guys, if you want to join our private trading group, investor academy type thing, you can go to arcanebear.com or join the links down below. It's $30 a month. We'll give you a refund if you are not happy with your service, although we've only had that maybe once or twice. So jump in there. sign up if you're interested, and give it a whirl. I'm going to keep posting these update videos and intermixed with the random videos of me going mushroom hunting or playing music, because I love doing it. I love the avant-garde aspect of Arcane Bear. So I'm really, really grateful for everyone that's been around to support that. Give us those thumbs up if you like this content. If you like Fetch or XLM or trading those two, let me know. There are more that we have lined up that I believe are going to do 100 to 500% gains. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited to be sharing that with you. So we're just going to come online. We're going to look at as many tokens as possible. If you guys want me to take a look at something specifically, which I do have a list of here already, I'll go through. We've got Ontology, Digibyte, Zilliqa, XTZ, Link, Ethereum, ETC, XRP, KNC, XVG, IOTX, Atom, LTC, Wax, ICX, Matic, RSR, HBAR, XLM, BAT, NEO, XVG, Zilliqa, 88. We're going to take a look at all of these over the next month here. And again, the reason why I want to do this is because there are some great plays that are about to take place, and I want to make sure everyone can take advantage of as much as possible. We are in some of the somehow we're in the least exposed area to start playing now, because we are near the bottom of the accumulation pattern, as I'm drawing up here in BAT, for many different tokens. And this means you don't have to spend a year accumulating. You can actually get 100 to 500% move, and instead of having to have exposure for the entire year, which all these are showing, we can just sit in exposure with maybe a few months. The Fetch trade was only a month, and it yielded around 60% gains from our initial entries, right? So that's a huge deal. And again, not having to be exposed for that long makes a big difference. Yeah, 75% in less than 33 days since our original entries. That is phenomenal. Anyways, Teal with the Arcane Bear, give us a thumbs up, leave us the comments. Thank you guys. I'm sure you already know all that. You know, if you support the Arcane Bear, just give us those thumbs up, right? Because it makes the world a better place. You make the world a better place when you give us a thumbs up. This Teal with the Arcane Bear. I'm signing off for the rest of the day.